We had a very,
That really needed to be mentioned.
I'm trying to make a situation light.
The WNBA All-Star presser was supposed to be all about unity and positive vibes, but the second Kelsey Plum opened her mouth, that whole fantasy just crumbled. Honestly, Kelsey just ripped the lid off the whole thing, letting a little secret slip to the public. One weird comment, one awkward laugh. She wasn't just poking at Caitlin Clark. This felt like a public shaming on national television, and while Caitlin stayed quiet for a minute, what she just said has absolutely everyone reeling. If you're riding with Caitlin on this one, drop a Team CC down in the comments. Right in the middle of the post-game presser, Kelsey Plum just randomly blasted Caitlin Clark's entire squad for ditching a morning meeting about those viral protest shirts. And man, once those words hit the air, the internet basically caught fire. The vibes in the room got incredibly weird, and you could see Sabrina Ionescu just letting out these massive eye rolls. What started as a sneaky little dig turned into one of the pettiest displays we've ever seen in the WNBA. But Caitlin's clapback is what's really hurting right now. Here is the backstory. Caitlin Clark, literally the most talked about person in the game, had to sit this All-Star weekend out. She was sidelined by a groin injury, just trying to stay out of the mix, and that really should have been the end of the story. But nope, she ended up being the punchline of the most public backhanded slap in league history, and it all started with some t-shirts. All the All-Stars walked out on the court wearing these bold black shirts that shouted, "Pay us what you owe us. Pay us what you owe us." And obviously the internet had a field day roasting that. At first, fans thought it was this long overdue stand for better pay and respect, a rare moment where rivals actually came together to speak with one voice. Turns out, it wasn't some spontaneous moment of passion at all. The whole thing was scripted in a secret meeting that morning, which even Kelsey Plum described as powerful. She claimed it caught most players by surprise, and they just decided to do it right then and there during this special morning session. Everything was going fine until she basically torched the entire message with one incredibly messy sentence. Kelsey decided to explain the history of the shirts, but used the moment to take a blatant swing at Caitlin. She went, not to be a snitch, but 0 members of Team Clark were present for that. Not to be a tattletale, but nobody from Team Clark was even there. Like, excuse me? Team Clark. They had no clue what was coming when they walked into that locker room. This is the All-Star game we are talking about. Instead of leaning into that powerful unity everyone was talking about, Kelsey took a hard left, focusing purely on who was not in the room. She chose to highlight an absence rather than the togetherness. Honestly, it did not feel like a team statement. It felt like a hit piece. Why would she even help these women get paid? There is a part of me that thinks she should not even bother anymore. Intention does not really matter here. Calling out Clark's team like that looked less like leadership and more like high school drama seeking. And it worked exactly like she wanted. The media pounced on it and fans were immediately at each other's throats. Meanwhile, Caitlin is just minding her own business and somehow becomes the poster child for division in a league that preaches unity. The kicker? Kelsey tried to walk it back as a joke, but nobody was laughing. It was a joke that went so sideways that Kelsey is now going viral for all the wrong reasons, giving the Clark haters all the fuel they needed. Sabrina Ionescu was sitting right there next to her. Sabrina was putting in the work, running 6 miles every night because the league still has not fixed its fundamental issues. These women have faced so much and never got the chance to tell their stories on film. The funding just is not there because the people at the top have not provided the protection or the investment these players deserve. Sabrina's reaction was pure gold. You could tell she absolutely hated where the conversation was going. I give her props because her face just screamed, "Oh boy," it was just ridiculous. Every expression she made told the story. She knew the second Plum said it that the internet would explode, and not in a good way. And she was right on the money. Sabrina, we see you holding it down. You held it down, girl. But let us be real, that meeting did not happen without Team Clark by some freak accident. Clark is the biggest draw this league has ever seen. You really think it is just a coincidence her teammates were left out? That not a single person from the leadership or Stewie said a word to them? Come on. They strolled into the arena feeling like $1,000,000, grinning ear to ear and ready to ball out. But then, they hit the locker room and saw it, the shirts waiting on every single locker. Totally blind to the storm coming, they find a shirt screaming, "Pay us what you owe." Honestly, something about this whole setup feels incredibly fundamentally wrong. Maybe they plotted the whole wardrobe stunt without the one girl who actually moves the needle for the entire league. Still, Kelsey wanted that spotlight, so she felt the need to call Caitlyn out. By trying to throw shade at Caitlyn, she just revealed the real issue. Pure, unadulterated, burning jealousy. These WNBA players are getting harder to like every day. No matter how much they scream, "Pay us," it is getting old. Everyone knows that 90% of those paychecks only exist because of one name, Caitlin Clark. The players know it, fans know it, the league definitely knows it, and here is where things really exploded. Social media caught fire, but it wasn't a win for Plum. Instead of support, those shirts sparked massive blowback. Fans ripped it apart as performative and blasted the league's hypocrisy. They went after Plum for publicly attacking a teammate who was not even healthy enough to stand up for herself. What Plum imagined would be her big moment turned into a total PR nightmare. One comment was all it took. Suddenly, the whole All-Star weekend felt like a petty middle school cafeteria fight. Caitlyn stayed quiet at first, but that silence, it was louder than anything Kelsey Plum could scream, mostly because Caitlyn was just taking it all in. When she finally did hit back, she did not just argue, she flipped the entire narrative on its head. It happened right under an Instagram post. Kelsey Plum posted an all-star photo, probably hunting for compliments on those Pay Us shirts. Too bad Clark stole the show there too. She dropped just 6 words. "Thank you for the Nike ad." That is it. The internet lost its mind because if you know that was cold. Here is the kicker. Plum is signed with Under Armour, but Clark is Nike all the way. By posting that picture, Plum accidentally gave her biggest rival a massive amount of free advertising. And that is the gap. That is exactly why Caitlin Clark is not like any of those others. No TV rants or dramatic press conferences needed. In fact, she did not even bother to tag her. She just reminded the world without saying a single word that she is playing chess while they are stuck playing checkers. Her stats simply talk louder than their noise. She knows who fills the seats. More than that, she knows exactly what is on the line here. The league does not just need her, it is basically clinging to her for dear life. Yet they freeze her out, mock her constantly, and call her fans racist, all while using her massive numbers to beg for their own pay raises. You cannot have it both ways. Do not trash her in interviews and then expect to cash those jersey checks. Even retired NBA legends are jumping in now, calling out Plum's attitude and the way Clark was treated during the weekend. When 3-time champs call your behavior embarrassing, you have crossed a line. Real legends recognize a star when they see one, and the smart ones know you protect that light. You do not start fights with the one person who is actually keeping your league afloat. Let us be real for a second. Caitlin Clark isn't just another name on the roster. She is the WNBA's main attraction. If you think I'm exaggerating, just look at the facts. Look here. Caitlin Clark is the one driving every single number. We saw it happen when word got out she would miss the All-Star game with a groin injury. Ticket prices tanked 50%. 50%. Prices slashed by 50% the moment it was clear she was not participating. One player sits out and the entire market just falls off a cliff. It is unbelievable. That is insane, right? That isn't just being liked, that is raw, measurable market power. The other players certainly got their attention by wearing those "Pay us what you owe us" shirts. But when Caitlyn left, the whole event's value just vanished. These women are becoming impossible. Why give them more money? Without Caitlin Clark, their ratings are non-existent. They disrespect her and still expect a reward. And now the collapse has begun. Just listen to what Stephanie White has to say. I have not talked to her since the game last night, but I think she is making progress. In the latest news, Caitlin has officially been ruled out for Tuesday night's big game against the New York Liberty. Honestly, I do not really expect her to be available to play this Tuesday. Are we really about to watch an all-star event that feels more like a sleepy high school scrimmage than a primetime showcase for the best in the game? Because it is simple. You cannot just manufacture real hype. Star power isn't a right, it's a trophy. And Caitlin? She fought for hers. Now, she's out there racking up victories and massive brand deals while everyone else just scrambles for clout. The hard truth? The WNBA has a serious crisis on its hands right now. It isn't about her stealing the spotlight, it's the fact that without her, the light just fades. Everyone wants their piece of the pie. Fine. But why does the money stop flowing the moment she sits down? She drives the entire machine. At the end of the day, she is the one actually moving the needle. Seriously, what are we even doing? Her missing even a single game brings one very ugly, very loud truth to the surface. Why can't the rest of the league keep that same winning energy? It's a fundamental breakdown that hurts everyone involved, leaving both sides scrambling for an answer they simply don't have. Is this the reality check the WNBA desperately needs, or will they keep resenting the very person actually paying the bills? Drop your thoughts below. If you're feeling this, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives just like this. You won't want to miss what's next.